Hey lovelies, I hope you're doing fine. I would like to speak about and clarify about what highly sensitive people actually really are. I myself, I am a highly sensitive person, so the short abbreviation is HSP. And what does it mean? Most people think that HSPs are weak people, that they are people who are introverts and who cry all the time, but that simply is not the truth. An interesting thing as well is actually that more men than women from the statistics are actually HSPs. So I only found out like recently that I am a highly sensitive person, and it helped me a lot. So I remember when I was small or even growing up, or also in my later years, many people always said to me, I always heard, don't be so sensitive, and you're so sensitive, you're far too sensitive, toughen up, and so on. So I always had the feeling there was something wrong with me. And I also have to admit, and I'm sure maybe many highly sensitive people even do that, for many years I even numbed myself with smoking weed because it was just all too much. Because as a highly sensitive person, you feel everything that is happening around you on a very, very deep level. You just can't help it. That's just who you are. For me, it even had that impact, or it has still that impact, that at a certain time I realized I was not able to watch any horror movies or to watch movies in which violence is shown. And even I think it was 2008, I even stopped watching the news. Can you believe it? Even the normal news that you see, well, normal, on TV, for instance, or anywhere, that had such a big impact on my well-being. I felt so sad for all that was going on this world. And I felt so, it had such a deep impact on me to see, people suffering or whatever. Sometimes I got emotional, sometimes I even cried just because to see the news on TV. So at a certain point, I just simply stopped. I just could not take it. It was just far too much for me. And also watching, like horror movies or like normal movies with violence, that has such an impact on me. I see the pictures, I'm in a total osmosis with everything I see, and it takes, I don't know, 2-3 days to get the feelings and these pictures out of my mind. It's crazy. So I just simply stopped. So that is very a common trait with HSPs, that they just, cannot. It's just too much for them to see things like that, as I said, because we just feel on such a deep level. And for long, I really had the feeling there is something wrong with me, especially when people have no understanding for you and then think, what's going on with you, just toughen up, that's what I used to hear all the time. And also this point of being a weak person is also simply not true, because actually I perceive myself, and without bragging, that I am a very strong person. But if I'm out and about, or for instance, spend a day with friends, for instance, I cannot go out with them for dinner as well the same day, because I'm just so overwhelmed with everything that happened, all the emotions, all the energies that I, took in during that daytime that I at least in the evening, need the time to be just with myself, just by myself, to just able process everything. That's the thing. And I'm the most comfortable in meeting people like maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours, and then that's it. Yeah, because what happens when I meet people is I'm in total osmosis with them. Yeah, so I feel everything what's going on with them. I feel their energies, I feel their vibrations, I feel their emotions, and of course it's a lot. Yeah, it's really a lot, and as I said, I had to really before I was aware about that, and numb myself, yeah, with smoking weed, which really put me in a kind of a cloud, and I didn't feel anything anymore, and it was okay. But of course that's not the solution on the long run. So I would just like to put that out, yeah, and especially in a world in which we live now with, competition and fighting and whatever, it's very, very hard to be HSP. And I think it's actually a very good thing, and we should value people like that, because they always, tend to see the good in everyone. They tend to see the potential in every person. Yeah, and we're always also like, wanting that everyone wins, and that everyone is feeling good, and that everyone is happy. Yeah, so and I really also remember that being a teenager or even later, that I had the feeling it was kind of a curse what I had, because it was just, yeah, life was just so overwhelming. Yeah, but not only the bad things I feel a lot more, or HSPs feel a lot more, but also the beauty in things and the nice things, So this is the feeling when you feel like, yeah, wow, and that's just so, so beautiful, And I think it's very important maybe for our planet to have a balance, to have people who are like that, who spread the love and the softness and the, calmness into this world. So thank God for me, I found to make this curse, which I thought it was for many, many years, into a blessing. Yeah, into the blessing of being a healer, yeah, of helping and coaching people to on their paths, to be happy, to find their joy, because this is actually a very, very positive thing, of course, if you work with clients like I do, that I feel them as if I was the client. Yeah, and that, of course, is a huge blessing. Yeah, so that's why I chose to take this path and to use this being a highly sensitive person actually as a blessing. So I thought it was really, really important to send out this message, yeah, and also maybe you find out you are a highly sensitive person as well, and you are totally okay with that, and I'm not saying, whatever, that these people are better off or not so good off or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just different. Every being is different. Every person is different. And everyone, I also believe, is empathetic, just to different levels, and highly sensitive persons or people, they are just on the far end of that spectrum of being highly empathetic as well, because, as I said, we just feel everything to an extremely deep level. That's why really, spending time on my own is actually for me the biggest blessing. I just love it so much. Or being around animals, or being in the nature, this is something where I recharge the most, and I just love it. So yeah. So maybe you're even finding out that you are a highly sensitive person as well. And oh yeah, what to do, not in order that you have to numb yourself or whatever. What helped me actually to be able to cope better when I'm around people and when I am in groups of people is actually to every morning do a grounding meditation. And also I spread out from the center of my heart a dark blue bubble, which has the biggest and strongest frequency of protection. Yeah, so honestly, every time I go out or every time I know I go some places, I put around myself from my heart, I have this dark blue bubble with the intention, okay, I am protected, I am, kind of not taking in everything so much, yeah. But even though I do that, after 1-2 hours, it depends what I'm doing, depending also about the energies there, I just have enough, I just need time to myself to recharge. So yeah, and please, I think it's you know how to say it, not a nice thing to hear, someone says, oh, you're far too sensitive and come on, because really such a long time I had the feeling I was not right and I was not okay the way I am. Yeah, but let's just see it maybe as a gift, or if you know people who are that way, then simply accept and understand, all right, they just need a break now, and not because there's something wrong with them, but because they just feel to such a huge extent everything and anything that is happening around them. And a good thing is actually in love relationships, for instance, that is a good thing to also be being able to feel love on such a deep level, and that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, with that being said, I wanted to share, yeah, the grounding is good, which I said. I also forgot one other thing. If you have the feeling you have overtaken energies, which we do as highly sensitive people, then what you can do to get rid of them is either take a bath in the salt water, or go and have a swim in the sea, or if there's no beach around where you live, then simply take a shower and envision rainbow colors, like you're taking a shower in rainbow colors. And that also clears your energy field from emotions or energies that you might have overtaken when you're around people, as we do, as highly sensitive people. Right. So I hope this brought some clarification for you. And yeah, have a beautiful day.